So first we start with removing the ends. Okay? Just kind of peel that off. If you catch the front with your clean nails, it'll...
How many times are you going to emasculate me during this video?
all day.
Got it.
Hello, this is Steve from Beaute's Leatherworks, and today's project is we're going to work on these whites boots. But even better, I've got a special guest today. This is Nick from Stridewise. He contacted me and said if I'd like to collaborate a job with him. I was like, of course, you know, anything for another YouTube star. So Nick is here. He's going to help me work on these boots, and we're gonna do them together. I'm going to guide him a little bit, but I think he'll be just fine. So here's Nick, and tell us about you a little bit, Nick.
Well, thank you very much for having me out here in Virginia. Yeah, I have this channel called Stridewise, and also stridewise.com, the website, where I basically do reviews and stories about higher-end heritage boots, and also like a fashion as well, I guess. You know, like jeans, nicer waxed canvas, backpacks, jackets, that sort of stuff. So basically, like, I look at, yeah, quality stuff that takes like a lot of like skill and craftsmanship to make. That's the kind of stuff I'm really interested in. And although I am Australian, I live in New York City, and I have a really fetishistic obsession with like American craftsmanship.
And these are your friend's boots, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Troy, who's also on my channel sometimes, he has these pair of whites that have been bothering him lately with the squeaking on the right boot.
Okay.
And it's sort of like a mystery. And for you know, a cobbler detective, the first man who came to mind was of course Steve at Beaute's Leatherworks. That's
cool. So we're gonna take the boot apart because it's so difficult to know where the squeak is coming from, because it's like squeaking a car, and if it's squeaking, you got to pinpoint it somehow and replace what needs to be replaced, and hope for the best that it works out. So I think we'll do well.
All right.
So why don't we get started?
Make a cobbler out of me?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. What's step one?
Step one is you put the apron on, so you're gonna help me work. And Nick thought that he's just gonna come and watch me work. No, that's not happening. So put it on the last, grab the plier, and then I'm going to come from, grab the heel like that and push it away from you. Beautiful. And once those nails come off, you can see we have another set of nails underneath securing the sole to the back of the heel. So once we got the sole off, usually at this stage, we don't break it down further. But since it's squeaking, we have to basically remove the leather midsole, see what's going on underneath. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's see what's going on here. As you can see, there's a lot more nails in the shank area.
Wow.
It's a very sturdy boot. This is not a traditional Goodyear welted construction. That's not a good sample. I don't know if I have one apart. You've got a footbed. You've got a gamming right here. And the uppers are stitched together all the way around. This particular one's a 360-degree welt. Now with this one, totally different. What they do is they'll get a leather footbed. They'll cut it open, lift it up. And that's where you see the stitches that holds the uppers together. And then when it folds over, and then the sole stitched onto the uppers, the edges there. I bet you it had something to do with the shank. It had to be. I mean, there's nothing holding the shank other than these couple of nails, but it still moves around a little bit. Because the other one, we sanded the heads off, and there was nothing holding on to it. So let me see if I can sand that for you. It'll be easier.
Like they're coming out, but then I can't pull them off.
Well, use the plier, little nippers to pull them off.
When I was a young boy in Australia, I did not own boots, so I have no applicable experience from my childhood. End story.
So this is basically the JR bend that we use soles from. And we're just going to cut that in half and use it as the shank. Very similar to what they've done.
So this is the old shank?
That's the old shank there. That's the new shank. That's the old shank.
Look at that.
Okay. Now, notice this is still kind of high. We're going to have to nail the shank like they did. Okay? So we'll go ahead and glue it and then nail it on top for good measure.
Is this glued wide enough on the top?
No, you gotta glue all this all the way around the edges.
All the way around.
Yep.
Okay, it's
just around there. You're not going to do that because there's no welt around that area.
Okay.
So try not to contaminate the surface too much with your oils and your fingers.
Sorry.
Right the midsole there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is the midsole.
That's the midsole. We're going to use the same midsole. So basically, just going to line up the toe.
Okay.
Now the trick is going to be stitching this. Now, I'm on the fence whether we should stitch it with an outsole stitcher or hand stitch it, but due to time constraints, we might have to use the outsole stitcher.
On YouTube.
I don't think it was good. I don't think it turned out good.
Why?
See? It started out good here, you see? But then look what happened. The welt opened up and it stitched underneath it, which you shouldn't do. Just like that. You hook the thread on the hook, pull it, and you run this side in there, and you pull it tight. So this is the reason why we do the breast of the heel first, to have a nice and smooth surface. So once that comes together, it's nice and clean. We can come and clean that up before. Yeah. So I think it went well. We had to hand stitch the soles on, which I kind of figured that, you know, we had to do, but we tried to do it with the machine, but it didn't turn out too good. But I think the final result, that the way we did it is much better than what we tried to do it, which is basically hand stitching, replacing the shanks, tighten everything up, re-nailing all the midsoles, adding some canvas material in between the layers, and hopefully that took care of the squeaking. One way to find out, I guess, you know, once Nick goes back home and let Troy wear it and see if it works or not. Now today's video is not an elaborate video, long video. It was kind of short video just to get it done because they're only here for today. And what we decided to do to make a longer video on his channel. So go to his channel, Stridewise, and show him some love. And just maybe take us, you know, just put a note on the comment section saying that, you know, we're one of Beto's viewers or something. We're subscribed, and don't forget to subscribe to his channel. Let's see if we can get his numbers up a little bit. I think it's a good channel actually. It's if you would like boots, you know, like specialty wares and stuff like that. It's definitely a good channel.
Thanks.
All right?
It's okay.
It's okay. It's a good start. That's all right. It's like the coffee. It's a good start.
All right.
Actually, it's the end of this start.
Thank you for having me. This is
My pleasure.
This
My
is
pleasure.
pretty work. This is some of the best work I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that it turned out well, and I'm glad you reached out. I'm glad we did it together. Hopefully, in the future, we'll get together on something else. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks again. All right. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you guys on the next project. Take care.